What a wonderful Wednesday. I'm bringing to you this super duper shiny new video. Bing. Today's topic is an interesting one. It's the creation of a new game. That doesn't seem very interesting. Well, no, that by itself isn't. That happens a lot. It's the creation of a new IP, a new genre of something that's brand new, something that hasn't been seen before. That's difficult to do. It really is. You can look at the release schedule of this entire year, and I'm looking there going, I don't see anything that isn't a sequel. That's hard. That's difficult. That's a very, very rough prospect. I mean, you could look at some games like, for example, Resident Evil Raccoon City. That's taking the game in a different direction. That's a new game. But it's not original. The 4-player co-op thing, that's the zombie survival 4-player co-op thing, that's been done. That's like a Sears Tower, man. That's done. You're not gonna fix that sucker up anymore. You can beat it. You can continue using that style. There's only so far you can get with it, though, which is interesting. It's hard for developers to come up with something new, something that's different, something that hasn't been done before. The best they can do these days, without completely just throwing away any sort of rulebook and completely creating a brand new game that has nothing like anything else, is sort of Frankenstein bits and pieces of games into a game, into something new, a new IP. We've seen Gearbox do that with Borderlands. Borderlands was something that's hasn't been done before. It was, it had the 4-player first-person shooter co-op thing, but then it was also that Diablo loot element. Something that hadn't been done since Diablo. You could say, MMOs, but it's not as randomized as every single weapon you picked up in Borderlands. Now, granted, I've had a couple times where I've picked up a weapon, picked up another weapon, they're the exact same weapon. It's like, well, maybe it isn't that random, but it's really random nonetheless. And that's difficult, is making sure your game sticks to its new promise, does something brand new. Back in the early part of this century and, the later parts of the 90s, you could come out with new games. Something that hadn't been done before. And that was commonplace almost. Because, people weren't churning out clones and all that. Even though I hate that term, they weren't just producing very similar games. In most cases. The games that people remember definitely weren't, mass produced. In the sense of, you can turn your you can turn your page and calendar every month and there's a brand new first-person shooter. What do you freaking do? There's enough of them out there. I mean, I'm looking at what I can think of gaming history, and probably the newest game that's come out recently would be, Portal or Magica. Both games that, they take something that we're used to, an idea, and they throw it out the window. Portal took puzzles, made them first person. Usually puzzle games, for the most part, I'm throwing Myst aside because Myst is Myst, and it took active puzzle solving, not just click a button, see what happens on somewhere else on the island. It was, you're actively participating in this puzzle. That was something that we haven't really seen before. It's something Valve always sort of does pretty good. So, you can't aim for that. And then Magica, the first time I saw that, I was like, what is this? What is this I'm watching? They're combining elements and making spells happen. It's magical. It's new, more or less. You could always break down a game and go, well, that's been done before, and that's been done before, so it's not an original game. And then I want to punch you in the face for saying that. Because It's all been done before. Until someone makes the shark first person dungeon crawler, it's difficult. It'd be possible to just get a bunch of balls, raffle them out, and seeing what pops out and go, let's try to make a game of that. And that's why the indie community is really important, because they're really expanding on a genre. They're really focusing and bridging genres. It's difficult though. Really, some gamers really just they expect the same thing. They expect quality from something new, and it's difficult. If it's new, we have no idea what the hell is going on until we start playing it, until it's been broken down and pieced out. So, don't necessarily judge a game just because you feel like it's been done before. Don't judge a game because it hasn't been done before. Take that always with a grain of salt, people. I will see you next time.